Shellyse TV. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey
Oh.
everybody, I'm here to talk about the latest episode of This Is Us. Now, in this episode, let's jump back to the past. Now, we're here with Jack and Rebecca, and we see that they're struggling with all three of these babies. But the main concern that Rebecca has is that Randall is not feeding from her. And so she feels this detachment from him. But at the time, she's still calling him Kyle because she was supposed to have three babies, and it was supposed to be Kevin, Kate, and Kyle. And so the Kyle passed away, and she just replaced Randall with him. So it's very apparent that she's struggling to bond with the baby. And so when it's time for the babies, to get a checkup, Jack takes them to the doctor. Now, this is the same doctor that delivered the babies. And so when he gets there, the doctor asks him, well, where's Rebecca? It's odd for the father to bring the kids and not the mom. And so he said, well, she's just at home resting and whatever. But the doctor already knew what it was. He said, you have to give her time because she lost a child. And she's going to be mourning the loss of that baby in a different way than you. Because Jack is like, he's focusing all of his efforts into the kids. Like, that's how he's dealing with losing the baby. And so for her, she's dealing with it another way. And so he tells him to be patient and just be a good husband and stand by her side. And he told him to go in there in the back and go take a nap because he looked tired too. So he did that. So the doctor once again gave them excellent advice. So when Jack comes home, his wife is gone. Now, let's back up just a little bit. Now, when they were getting ready to take the kids home from the hospital, she looked across the street and she saw this man staring at her. And it dawned on her that this could be the father of Kyle. And so she went on this mission to find him. She found him, she hunted him down, and she found out that, he was on drugs and, he was a poet, and she just found out more information about him. But they also had an agreement. They made an agreement that he would stay away from the baby. Because his life was so out of hand and things, she said, look, I need to know that you're not going to try to come and get your baby. If he's mine, then he needs to be mine, and you need to stay away. And so he decided that that was the best thing for the baby. So she expressed to him that she was having a hard time bonding with the baby. And so he said, well, maybe you need to give him his own name, and it made so much sense because what do y'all think about it? I think it was a good idea because she was still holding on to the fact that that was the name of her baby that passed away. So this baby is not her baby biologically. This is a baby that she's decided to take into her heart, her and her husband, and to their family, and he needed his own name. So he gave her this book, and that's where she got the name Randall from. So when she got home and Jack was there and he was worried and he said, I thought you left and left us and the kids and everything. And she's like, no, I'd never leave you guys. And she told him that she wanted to give him his own name. And so he agreed that that was a good thing. And that's how that story went. Now let's fast forward to the future where we left off in the last episode, where Rebecca gets there with her husband. And they're there with the kids. And so Randall decides he's going to sit down and tell her that he went and found his biological father. So initially she's shocked about it, but she didn't let on that she had already met him and talked to him or whatever. So she said, okay, I want to meet him. So Randall takes him in there and they sit down and they talk. And she asked him, what are you doing here? I thought we had an arrangement. And so they talked about it, and she told him, listen, he is going to do everything in his power to help you get well. He's going to put you before his family. He's going to put you before himself. So I hope you're worth it. And it really just dawned on him how good of a man that Randall is. So it kind of made him a little paranoid. And she also did not want him to tell Randall that she had known about him the whole time, because I guess as Randall was growing up, he really wanted to know who his father was. And so the fact that she already knew who he was, where he was, and could have made the connection for him, she doesn't think that Randall could handle that. Like, it would break his heart to know that he could have known this man a long time ago. And so the dad feels bad, so he just ups and leaves the house. And so when it's time to go to this appointment, Randall was looking for him, and he's like, "Where did he go?" So he hunted him down, and he was like, "No, you're not gonna do that, okay? I done went through all this work trying to get you in to see this doctor. You're not just gonna up and leave, just like you left me when I was a baby. You're not gonna get to do that. How could you just leave like that and not say bye to my kids, and all of that?" So he said, "No, you're gonna go to this doctor's appointment, and then after that, you can at least have the decency to tell people goodbye." So he ate his face up, right? Which he deserved that, You can't just up and leave like that. So they go to the doctor, and the doctor tells them what they pretty much already knew, that his cancer is so bad that he may not survive it long. And that was just the news that they got. So later on that night, Randall comes in to talk to him, and he says, that isn't the only doctor in New York. We'll take you somewhere else and see, someone else can help you. And he said, okay. And Randall also tells him that he wants to tell the girls who he really is. That's their grandfather. And he said, okay. And he said, if they have any questions, they can ask me anything. And so Randall takes that opportunity to sit down, and he asked him, well, who's my mother? Or no, he said, when did you meet my mother? Or how did you meet my mother? He asked him something like that. And at first, what did y'all think? I thought he was talking about Rebecca. And I'm thinking, oh, he's so smart. Like, how did he figure that out? But that's not what he meant. He meant, how did he meet his biological mother? So the dad goes into this whole story about, oh, I met her on a bus. And, it was like this whole magical story that he's sitting down and telling him. So what do you think about Randall and his father? Do you think that the father in his last days of living is going to spill the beans and tell that he met Rebecca years ago, or what? What do y'all think? I think he's probably going to take it to his deathbed. I really do. And I don't think that they're going to find a cure for his cancer. I think he's going to pass away. But I do think in that short amount of time that they do have, they're going to grow closer, and Randall will be able to, I don't know, get some closure from the whole situation. Now, let's skip over to Kate and Kevin. Now, a continuation from last episode. Toby is there at Kate's house, and he wakes up and he hears her in the bathroom singing, and she has this beautiful voice. So he comes up with this idea to have her sing in front of people, because she's so scared and nervous to sing in front of anybody because of her weight. So he takes her to this retirement home where his aunt is staying, and he lets her sing her favorite song, and she kills it. And after that, she's just on this high. And, her and Toby go into the little closet, honey, for some alone time. And right in the middle of the throes, honey, her brother calls her. And he's like, I need you to come by the house because old girl done came back, and she tearing up my house. So obviously this is some crazy ex-girlfriend or some woman he used to date. He invited her over because he had been trying to call Kate all day long and she wasn't picking up. And they did the thing. And when he told her that he was moving to New York, she got crazy. So she started throwing stuff around and being crazy. So she ups and leaves. So Toby is like, really? Like, you gonna leave right now? And she's like, yeah, that's my brother. Everyone has to come second to him. So you just gonna have to learn how to do that. So it hurt his feelings, and she left. So when she got there, he was telling her everything that happened, and they're talking about moving to New York and all of this, because she's ready to up and leave with him and move, because I didn't know this, that she was his manager. And so as she's telling the story about what happened with her and Toby, he stops and he's like, wait a minute. So you were right in the middle of something with him and you picked up the phone? Like, why did you do that? So he tells her, look, maybe we just need to take a break. He's like, you're fired. Go live your life, and I'm going to go try to live my life in New York and act and try to do everything that I need to do, which makes sense because now he's going to be in New York, and maybe he's going to be up there near Randall. So maybe we'll get to see the dynamics of their relationship. So he kind of, cut the ties. And when he was on his way to the airport, he called her and she didn't pick up. Thank goodness, because, she invited Toby over to apologize and, tell him, I'm sorry. And at first he wasn't going for it. But as soon as she held up that condom, she was like, I'm sorry. And he was like, you're forgiven. He's such a man. So he came on in the house and and Kevin was calling her and she did not pick up that phone. He was like, "Good, I'm glad you didn't pick up the phone. I'm on my way to the airport and everything is going to be fine and I'm not going to tell you goodbye and get all sappy because you know how I feel about you." And basically he just went on and we're going to see how this happens. If he's going to be able to really hang in there and stay in New York and do his thing, or will he be coming right back to LA to do something different? I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm liking this series so far. What do y'all think about it? How do you think the storylines are gonna play out? I don't know, but I'm really rooting for Toby and Kate to stay together because he really brings out the best in her. And I'm curious to see the story behind how Rebecca and Julio got together. I'm still curious about that. But there are so many twists and turns in this show that I just was not anticipating. I didn't think that Rebecca had already met Randall's father. Like, that was a good twist in the storyline. So it's good so far. So if I left anything out, please drop it in the comments below and we'll keep the discussion going. I will see you all in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be here every week talking about this show. All right, bye.